we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna push this forward right now, everybody.
The drinks are
everybody, welcome to another episode of the Halving Report podcast.
cut in half.
We are here 18 weeks before the next Bitcoin halving coming up, anticipated to be in April of 2024. There's a big Bitcoin halving party going on here. We're all trying to come back for that. Everybody welcome Peter to the Halving Report podcast. Thanks for doing this today, man.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Peter.
This is cool. Yeah, most people call me Pete. You guys can call me Pete.
Yeah.
Pete-Toshi.
Let's Pete-Toshi?
Yeah, Pete-Toshi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet, man.
That's my birth name.
You got a cool new hat.
Yeah, thank you. Beach break.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
We got matching, but yours is yellow. Mine is
amarillo.
Mine is orange.
I have nice hair, so I don't wear hats.
Brand new amarillo.
Yeah,
I don't have. I'm not even gonna do this because it's recorded, but I'm keeping the hat on.
So Pete, let's start from the basics, man. What brings you to Bitcoin Beach, Zonte, El Salvador?
I heard that there was some Bitcoin life here, and I wanted to check out the circular economy. Don't trust, verify. Wanted to see if Max and Stacy were lying to me. They're not. And there's also great surfing here, so I'm doing both. I'm doing all of it: Bitcoin, surfing.
He's riding all the waves.
Riding all the waves. The sat wave, the ocean wave.
So if it was just Bitcoin or just surfing, would you still come here?
Yeah, I mean, I would have came here if it was just Bitcoin. If it was just surfing, absolutely, for sure.
Okay, and your first time, right?
This is my first time in El Salvador and in El Zonte, so I'm pleasantly surprised. I've had a lot of experience with Central American countries, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, but El Salvador seems to be one of the more developed. I was surprised, actually. As an American, you hear a lot about being the murder capital of the world, and I could not have met any nicer people on the planet. I think El Salvadorians, everyone is so kind, and everyone says hello.
And it's interesting because El Salvador has a known history of gang violence, as we heard, and everyone's saying ever since Bukele kind of took office and up security. Was there any moments on your trip? Sorry, 3 weeks here.
Yeah.
Was there any moments on your trip that you felt unsafe?
No, not unsafe from crime. The driving could be crazy, but that's the only thing is when I was in a car with Ronnie. I'm just kidding. With the bus. No, shout out to Ronnie. He handled that situation great. But no, honestly, the crime is not even a factor here. I'm from New Jersey, so.
Where specifically?
In the Jersey Shore. Yeah, the Jersey Shore. Yeah. It's real. And I'm from there. And
Ronnie though.
Yeah, different Ronnie. But the security situation here is really más seguro, very safe. So yeah, it's really cool here. I mean, if you are interested in a vacation in a tropical paradise where you can spend some Bitcoin and check it out for yourself and maybe catch a few waves, I don't think there's a better place in the world, honestly. So it's legit. Okay. It's really legit.
So let's get into, because I know you got a flight to catch. You've been here for 3 weeks. You got a flight to catch tonight.
Yeah.
You're out of here. As much as you didn't want to leave, you're gonna catch that flight out of here.
Yeah. Sadly, I can't reschedule and do the Forest Rave tomorrow.
We really tried.
Yeah, they did. This is not a joke, but I appreciate the effort, boys. Really glad to meet you. Too.
Now, are those orange pills? Did we get orange pills?
This might be a strawberry pill.
Strawberry? That's a red pill. I got the red pill.
Yeah, I think the next one will be orange. We're gonna get some orange pills here for the.
We'll get some orange.
We'll get a second one.
We're gonna get as much alcohol into your system as you'll allow us to before your flight.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm not a big drinker, but I make exceptions. So this is it. Absolutely.
So yeah, let's dive into Bitcoin, man.
Sure.
What was your exposure? How did you get into it? Was there somebody? Was there an influencer? Was it Max Kaiser? How did you get into Bitcoin?
I could say it was Max Kaiser, because then I would have probably had more Bitcoin. But because I would have heard about it earlier. But
is that the orange pill?
Arana.
Yes.
All right, we got an orange pill, everyone.
Muchas gracias.
Dos más. No, how's it taste? Wait, let me see. It's good?
2 more of these.
Yeah, dos más.
Yeah, what's in it? Vodka, bourbon.
Maybe I need Anita. You can help us out with the ingredients of what's in the orange pill. Can you take this?
Hi guys, the orange pill is Aperol,
Yeah.
a splash of champagne,
Oh, nice.
and some vodka.
Really good.
Oh, a little vodka and bourbon. Nice. I'm
Blood
gonna be feeling good.
Special syrup.
Come on down to the beach break for that real orange pill.
Absolutely. Yeah,
The
for
real orange pill.
This is the owner right here. So, and you've stayed
Yeah.
at this place the whole time, or where have you stayed?
Yeah, you know, I stayed here for 1 week after the Bitcoin conference, and we had a blast here in El Zonte. We had the meetups, all the meetups here in Zonte. The Bitcoin Farmers Market was a blast. I mean, truly, if you come here and you only have a week, please schedule it on a week where you can go to the farmers market and spend some sats, get some soaps from Nikki and James, meats from Jamie and Kiki. You know, everyone is just there to help. Jamie, shout out to Jamie for a little sats knowledge. He'll help you with your Phoenix wallet if you're me. And so, yeah, no, it's a really great experience for the farmers market. And like I said, if you're coming down here to open up a business, you can be at the farmers market and sell some stuff for sats. So
Now you have a special interest in the farmers market. You want us to capture initiative that you're part of.
oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it's just for this week, but we actually are raising money for the El Zonte Minions, the kids football team. You know, so go Minions.
Mhm.
And that's a project that Sabrina Hernandez is working on. She's the masseuse owner of Lua Massage, and yeah, she's great. Go get a massage after surfing. She'll fix you up, and also support the kids. Let's get these kids some cleats and jerseys, people. They're looking rough out there.
Quincy Crypto and I are going to be there on Sunday, so we'll definitely report on that as well.
Yes, and please send me some videos, and we'll be all cool, you know.
Yeah. Super excited for some of the events coming up here.
Yeah.
Now, as we know, Bitcoin blockchain is slow, right? So we've seen adoption of Lightning, right?
Yeah.
It can be very slow for practical situations where you need to pay for something in a moment's time. So we've
slow
seen
for retail, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
for transactions, yeah, like that.
So have you been utilizing the Lightning network since you've been here?
Absolutely. I mean, but I do want to preface this with saying that if you are going to send $100 million somewhere, 10 minutes is actually rather fast, or even $10,000 is rather fast. But for the retail purposes, yeah, I am definitely utilizing Lightning. It's so important to come here with a Lightning wallet that is not going to kill you on the fees, like Moon Wallet, Submarine swapping my on-chain for Lightning, and I incurred a huge fee every time I bought something. Even like a $2 cookie, I paid a $3 fee, you know. So but once I got my money from my on-chain wallet, my on-chain hot wallet, to my Phoenix wallet, after I opened up a channel and everything was settled with those initial costs, I'm paying for stuff left and right very quickly. Instantly. We bought those tacos in El Tunco and Coca-Cola, and Mike Novogratz said no one would buy a soda with Bitcoin, but shout out to Mike Novogratz, I bought a Coca-Cola. So, yeah. He's a Luna guy anyway.
Oh no.
He's got a Luna tattoo. Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but we'll see.
We'll look at. We'll fact check. We'll fact check everything.
Fact check that. Yeah.
So what's been the overall impact on the community from your perspective of Bitcoin adoption in this country?
Well, obviously this is some real world test environment, but I think there's something to be said about being the first place to test an economic revolution, because let's say you have some bugs and kinks along the way. Overall, if it gets worked out, which it is, you're going to benefit a lot from being the first and already established physical financial, economic zone of this monetary revolution. So essentially you have all these business owners that may or may not be taking their Bitcoin and trading it for dollars to pay their bills. I'm sure that's happening a little bit, but they are keeping the Sats. I know a lot of people keeping the Sats. So in this next bull run, you're probably going to see half these restaurants get extensions, adding on to their restaurant, growing their menu or whatever. But there's a lot of benefit to that type of purchasing power increase. So even if the volume of their business isn't growing, the purchasing power of their business will grow. So this is all good stuff.
Going to have a great impact on the community,
Gracias.
citizens, and the country, the nation as a whole, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
Rising tide.
What do you think about other nations? Do you predict that other nations are going to follow this, and like, what's the timeline on that in your mindset?
Yeah, definitely other countries are going to do this. I have to say, I feel like the United States and Canada are going to be the last two to do it. And that probably won't benefit them, or, well, it won't benefit the citizens. It might benefit the governments, depending on their agenda. But I can see Central America being the leader on the Bitcoin train. I think the Arab states are messing around a little bit with it, but they're kind of messing too much with the crypto rather than the Bitcoin.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. What do you got there?
Gracias. What's that? Is that for me?
They're all for Chris.
Oh, we'll have to edit this out.
I was in Bitcoin first.
Check that.
That's the great thing about pre-recorded podcasts.
Yeah.
We can do that kind of thing.
Oh, thank you so
I
much.
got you, bro, though.
Gracias. Nah, man.
Brad, they started a new one on yours.
Perfecto.
But
Okay.
it's down there.
Yes.
Amazing.
Cool. So I want to jump in to your predictions because we're going to the halving, and
Yes.
Chris and I, when you told us your Bitcoin bull, I know Chris and I had a moment where we're kind of like, whoa, like this guy is
Crazy.
very bullish.
He's
I haven't
crazy.
slept since.
So can you give us that range that you predict for going into this next cycle after this halving coming up in April of 2024?
Absolutely.
And what do you think to be the biggest catalyst of it?
Well, you're asking for a 2024 prediction, or
I'm looking for this next cycle prediction of what you think may be what you think may be the top,
Right.
what you may think the bottom,
Okay.
between the years of 2024, after the halving, 2024, up until mid 2028.
Well, I guarantee you, one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin, and it always will. And in terms of a purchasing power increase standpoint, we definitely are going to see a $100 million per Bitcoin in the next 8 years. I know, but maybe let's see. I think also the other bullish sentiment I had was that this next 2024 cycle, 2025 cycle, we're going to be in the 700,000 to 1.5 range, 1.5 million range, and then you might see your crash to 500K, lower fluctations. I think we're going to see definitely lower fluctuations in price as it grows. It gets more stable, right? So. But the real number to look at is how many sats you can get for $1. So currently we're under 2,500 right now, I believe. $1 only gets you 2,500 sats, whereas a few months ago it was almost double. You could get over, I think, 3,500, 3,000 sats for $1. So right now we are fast approaching dollar Satoshi parity, $1 one Satoshi parity, and obviously when that happens, you have a $100 million Bitcoin. So who's to say what you can buy with $100 million at that point is beyond me, but I think within 8 years you have that 100 million per coin. So
Obviously very bullish. And But part of your reasoning for that isn't just the increase of Bitcoin, but the rate of inflation, exponential inflation. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, the expansion of the M2 money supply on the Federal Reserve balance sheet is becoming exponential and scary for the common person. They don't know what the M2 money supply even means, because most people can't even admit that inflation is and only is the expansion of the money supply. But people will believe whatever propaganda, and that's fine. But inflation is solely because you expand the money supply, and that's it. So because of that expansion, the M2 money supply chart clearly shows that we're at an exponential rate of 40% plus per year, easily. I think in my country, they stopped using it as a metric. So my country. Yeah.
What's the Bitcoin community like back home for you?
Just me, and it's just me, and you know, I have some friends that have to hear about it because they want to be friends still. But one of my friends is starting to stack sats. I think my cousin has a little, and my dad is interested also. But there is no community there like this. I mean, we are really in a circular economy. I can go to any restaurant here, essentially, and pay with Lightning. I bought my coffees this morning with it. I bought my tacos yesterday with it. You know, so many places accept it that I wanted to stop using it because I had fiat on me. So I wanted to just get rid of the trash, you know, keep the gold. So it was
Well, similarly, like I didn't want to actually spend the Bitcoin that I've been saving. I've been
Right.
buying. I've been actually buying and then replenishing my Lightning wallet since I've been here.
sure, of
And
course.
so, like, I'm
You should.
spending it within, you know, a very short time frame. So I'm not really seeing much
Yeah.
of a fluctuation.
Well, yeah, to speak to that point, actually, I did do a similar thing, right? So, obviously, here at Beach Break, they are Bitcoiners, right? So they offered a discount if you pay in Bitcoin. I had the fiat to replace it. So actually, I got a purchasing power bump right there. I replaced my Bitcoin with the fiat, and actually a little over whatever the original price was actually. So I actually saved some Bitcoin and got a discount. And this situation kind of repeated a few times, and then of course tried to use the price fluctuations to your advantage, but wasn't really concerned too much about the price fluctuations. It just so happened to work out that the price pumped while I was here and got a bit of a discount on my vacation, excuse me, essentially. And yeah, so
What's been the highlight of your vacation here?
oh man, you guys, for real. Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
hoping
The
for.
Halving Report.
Can we get
the
a
Halving
little fist
Report.
bumps
Yeah,
across
dude.
the table
Yes,
here?
yes.
Okay.
The Halving Report.
Cheers,
Cheers
Yeah.
with the orange pills. Salute.
Orange pills.
Yeah, come down and get an orange pill, boys. And girls.
Delicioso.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Mucho.
Ooh.
I think I like this one just as much though.
Yeah. So our first, just for reference, context for some of the folks that'll be watching this, like we met you our first day in Zonte,
Mm-hmm.
and you were very helpful, and we actually talk shop till what, 3 in the morning was that?
What was the total amount of time?
Mm-hmm.
We in this restaurant?
No, that first night.
Yeah.
You guys were here for 10 hours, I think.
We were literally here in this restaurant for the time.
I
Chris
thought you were
got here.
guests of the hotel because you were here for so long.
I know, right?
But now you are. So
But now we are. Yeah. We like to.
you're gonna
pop
be
around.
part of the furniture soon. You guys have been here for so long, but
So you're sad to leave.
very sad.
Yeah.
There's a jungle party tomorrow night.
Jungle Rave.
Jungle rave, excuse me. Yeah, and a lot of fun stuff now that it's the Christmas time and the high season is starting, and you know.
But you do want to come back. Is that like, we obviously know, and when you're on vacation, you're on the get those vacation highs, and everyone always says, you know, I'm moving here.
It
and
wasn't
this and that.
Yeah.
We've talked about coming back for the halving party.
Yeah.
We've talked about looking into real estate. You know, how realistic is this for you for coming back or coming here for maybe a longer period of time?
I was not that guy trying to convince myself how much I loved it because I was here. I really came here to do some recon, and I was here for the better part of 3 weeks, extremely critical of everything. I honestly did not want to like it because, in a weird way, you don't want to have to admit that you're going to have to leave home from the inflation and the living conditions and the standard of living dropping. But coming here was absolutely an eye-opening experience, even under the very critical, skeptical lens that I was looking through, because aside from the affordability, the weather's perfect, the surfing is amazing, the people are great, and you know, the standard of living is not that different from, let's say, somewhere like New York City, which is, you know, a modern city, quote unquote. You know, San Salvador is just as modern in many ways. You know, the sidewalks are a little worse, but other than that, it's, you have Uber and amazing restaurants and all you can eat sushi joints. So everything is pretty similar in terms of standard of living. So, given that fact, I really now have to consider like, hey, this really is an absolute option for me to have and start a business or have some property or a place to live because I can't afford a home at home. In New Jersey, you can't afford a home. So, I mean, where am I going to live? In a cardboard box, you know? And I'm not even a home. Like, yeah, my van. I have a van. I built the van for this situation. You know, COVID kind of showed me a lot that you need a go bag and a go vehicle. And my escape vehicle is built and ready to roll down here with my stuff. So we'll see.
Well, you mentioned affordability, and interestingly, well, and maybe not surprisingly to Bitcoiners, but real estate in this area specifically has gone absolutely bonkers from what everyone's been telling us since we've been here. And like, do you think that there's going to be like a time frame, like a closing gap of opportunity here in terms of owning property in
Good
El
question.
Zonte, or maybe not El Salvador as a whole, because that will take a long time, but El Zonte specifically?
Yeah, good question because, you know, like Bitcoin, there's only a finite amount, and El Salvador is a very small country. There is only a finite amount of El Salvador, and the land that, for me at least as a surfer, I want to be by the beach. But I do love coffee, so a coffee farm up in the mountains wouldn't be so bad. But yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of options for a lot of people. If you like the mountains and the drier area, there's a ton of that. If you don't mind sweating all the time and being at the beach is fine. It's a good way to lose weight quickly and surf and get in shape.
Yeah.
But San Salvador is a great in between because I think it's only 3,500 feet. So I know you guys are on meters, but it's you know, not too high up, but it's dry and man, the weather's perfect there every night. I needed a sweatshirt one night. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
So yeah, that was a shock because my only experience with El Salvador was here at the beach, where it's so hot. So it was definitely cool to see the range of climate and the range of activities that you can do. So
So, say a hypothetical situation, if you were to reside here, is the mountains something you would kind of go for, or would you want to be around this type Bitcoin community?
yeah, see, that's the thing, man. Like, I love being around Bitcoiners. I think when you all are operating off of a base layer of a certain philosophy, there's a lot to be said about that. I mean, there's only so much you could dislike someone if you believe in some of the most important things about life, right? So we disagree on a lot of things, um, and we still agree on the most important things, right? So there's a lot to be said about that. But I think I would have ideally a place here at the beach, use that as some kind of rental income property, be here when I want to be here, have a place in San Salvador or some agricultural land to grow food, maybe sell it to my own surf hotel or something. Who knows? There's a lot of ways you can do it, but there's something here for everyone. So, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So, just kind of pivoting back to Bitcoin, what's in your mind, what's the best thing about Bitcoin?
Oh,
It's a broad question, but
yeah,
we're here.
I have an answer. I think the best thing about Bitcoin, and especially with my experience with COVID and the lockdowns and all that stuff, Bitcoin is an economic shield to defend your values, right? I don't have to sell myself out when the pressure's on, you know? So essentially, it is a sword and shield to defend my values. I think that's the best thing about Bitcoin. So,
What's the biggest misconception about Bitcoin?
um, I heard a lot that we're in a cult, but I don't actually disagree with that in a way because cults are just a group of people that believe in something very passionately. And I don't think that it's a negative cult because, I mean, I don't think it's essentially a cult either because you can question it. Most cults you can't question, and if you question, you're ostracized. Here, questions are welcome.
If I can, sorry to interject for one
No,
second.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Everything is a cult. The culture that we live in is a
Yeah,
cult. Going
for
to work
sure.
9 to 5, that's
Yeah.
a cult.
right? Everything we believe in, our sports team is a cult,
Oh yeah,
right?
hate
This is
sports.
everything that we do on a daily basis is a cult, but we call it a culture. And so if you use the word cult in a negative tone, it sounds bad. It sounds satanic almost.
Yeah.
And so it's okay. It has to be a cult. If it's not a cult, it won't succeed. That is the nature of the game, right?
Sure.
The fiat system, the Fed is a cult.
I mean, they're an actual cult.
They're an actual cult. They might be a
Money
satanic
magic
cult.
Yeah.
But anyways, there's my 2 Satoshis.
Yeah. Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
2
No,
sats.
yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah. No. Good point. How are we doing for time, Quincy?
I think
We don't want you to miss as much as we want you to stay, Pete.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of time?
Bit of an
Okay.
agenda here.
We're at
Yeah.
8:30.
Nah, we're cool, man. I'm waiting
Okay.
for the driver, so whenever he comes,
Cool, man.
yeah.
So when you're not knee deep in Bitcoin stuff, what else do you like to do, Pete?
I like to surf. I'm an artist. You know, I haven't had enough creative energy or time to really sit down and do my oil painting like I would want to. I need space. I can't afford a house. So really the fiat life is cramping my style because there's a lot of things I want to do. And I feel like there is an energy drag and there is a physical constraints on some of the dreams I want to live. So actually my standard of living is already dropping a lot in that sense. But other than that, you know, I like to surf and like I said, and just go out and live life, man. You know, whatever that means for that day, whatever that means for that week. You know, just
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's
very
it.
cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, Quincy, that you would maybe a better understanding? Because Pete's kind of, you know, he runs his own node. You know,
Yeah,
he's
that's right.
very deep.
Show the node.
Yeah, I'll send you some
Yeah,
pictures. You can
okay.
just
We'll
link
throw
it in.
we'll
It's
throw
a
it
little
in there.
easier. Yeah, we'll put it on the
What-
screen.
Tell us about your node.
It's an Umbral node. You know, it's a very basic node I built out of a Raspberry Pi. And yeah, Raspberry Pi and a 1 terabyte hard drive, piece of wood that I burned a Bitcoin B logo in. And, you know, it's a basic Umbral node. But yeah, I made it and I love it. And I get a little bit of hash rate on it, although it just costs me money, like $1 a month essentially. But Jack Mahler's reached out and congratulated me for it on Reddit. That was cool. Had no idea who he was at the time. So I was just like thumbs up, you know?
And for those who still don't know who Jack Mahler's are that might be watching, he's the creator of Strike app,
Yes.
which is una más por favor.
Got some Bitcoiners over there too.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they want to.
We got some Bitcoiners over there, huh?
From
Germany.
Germany.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I think we got the second
All right.
podcast
We're-
episode.
We're gonna
coming
be
here.
doing. Do you just mind throwing that
Yeah.
over there?
Podcast
Oh, we'll
Deutschland.
do a quick introduction. Yeah,
Yeah, let's do
How's it
it.
going?
Let's do it.
We're just doing a recording here. I'm Brad.
I'm Jacob.
Nice to meet you, Jacob.
The
come on.
camera's right there, so
Yeah, we got a camera behind. We're doing a little recording, so
you can come this way if you
a little
want.
quick introduction. Maybe we could talk to you guys and do a video later on too, if you guys are interested. Cool, man. Yeah. Pardon me? He's gonna catch a flight, so we're on.
I'm almost done.
Finish with him, and then we'll do a meet and greet with you guys if that's cool.
Cologne.
Yeah.
We arrived yesterday.
Oh,
Oh, okay, nice.
Okay.
perfect. We're here for a few more days too. Yeah. Awesome. Looking forward to it. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Cool, man. Bitcoiners just keep flooding in in this place. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
and you know, I
It's
bet you they are 34 to 35 year old, right? How old are you guys? How old?
I am 27.
27? Okay. So we have
some younger ones.
we've
Okay.
been seeing a lot of 27 to 35-year-old young men,
It's interesting.
Bitcoiners.
Like the first couple days, it's like everyone I met was
Yeah.
35 years old. That was the magic number. We got a couple younger fellows here
Yeah.
now, so that's good. They'll be a little bit ahead of us when they get to our age.
Yeah, a lot of disenfranchised young men with self-respect looking for a new way of life. You know,
Absolutely.
so we're all out here trying to find something better because our countries are not allowing that life. So
Again, going back to affordability, like back
Right.
home, like affordability for people coming up, like it's a massive issue, and I think to quote our Bitcoin god
Yeah.
sailor, or
No gods in Bitcoin.
We were all equal.
but
Don't have
Bitcoin-
heroes. They're not your
no.
friends.
Yeah,
no,
no,
I'm
that's
just
fine.
kidding. I'm kidding.
That's fine. But there is a quote that he says Bitcoin solves like half the world's problems.
Yeah,
And so that's,
of course.
like you said, like although a lot of us disagree on many things, we agree on the most important thing, which is the monetary system, and because money make the world go round, right?
Yeah.
So
Fix the money, fix the world.
yeah.
Before we close up, can I ask a question? As
Yeah,
well?
for
Yeah,
sure,
go for
man.
it.
Of
You want
course. I think we're good on time.
So what would you say to somebody who is buying shitcoins or non-Bitcoins, but
Yeah.
maybe they're still heavily allocated to Bitcoin, but they're still buying some shitcoins for whatever reason they might have? It could be for a friend, maybe. I mean, it could be for any reason. Maybe because smart contracts are not on the Bitcoin blockchain. There's a lot of utility there. So, what would you say to people that are buying anything other than Bitcoin, but are also still but are also still in Bitcoin?
I would say don't do it in a way, because you don't have enough money to play around. I mean, look, if you want to allocate 1% of your income to investing or gambling, I mean, it's your money. You can do what you want. For me, I'm a super conservative investor. I only invest in Bitcoin because I don't have enough money to take away from my investment goal, which is every spare penny I have, I want to save it in something I know that is going to grow. Now, I mean, having said that, if you're going to trade and make money, then I'm not going to tell you that that's a bad thing if you made money. But I think it's important to note that none of these altcoins are going to be the next money or the next monetary system. And the word is cryptocurrency, right? That's the name of the space. So if you're investing in a cryptocurrency, there is only one cryptocurrency, and that is Bitcoin, because it's the new money and it's the only money. So, I mean, that's what I have to pretty much say about altcoins. I don't hate altcoiners. I just, think that maybe your money is better spent in Bitcoin right from the get. Don't try to make a quick buck. I know that some people do make money on altcoins just trading. You could do that with stocks. You could do that with anything. So I'm not going to knock someone for making a living, but definitely don't shill an altcoin in place of instead of Bitcoin, because that's immoral in a way. That is immoral, I think. So
no, that's very well said. Interestingly, you said that you're a very conservative investor. However, a lot of people may see Bitcoin as ultra high risk. It's a cryptocurrency. It's something new. It's a new technology. It's very volatile. What are your thoughts around that?
I think anything that you don't understand is high risk. So, for example, if I'm in a house and it's completely dark, it's high risk, because maybe I've never been in this house before and now it's dark. I can't see anything. It's the unknown. It's risky. But at my house that I've lived in, the house I grew up in for 33 years, I could lose both my eyes and walk through that house because I know everything. I know it. It's not high risk at all. I have the knowledge. So
go in the house that you know versus the house that you don't
but
know.
it's only the house that you can understand through research, right? Maybe that wasn't the greatest example, but definitely you have a fear and an insecurity because there's a lack of knowledge. So, yeah.
Okay. Now, and I'm back to community a little bit. How do you approach folks that have no idea what's going on? How do you put Bitcoin into layman's terms? Where do you start?
I listen, because most times people are complaining about something that Bitcoin can fix, right? So I politely interject that, hey, I heard you have this problem because you have to get a second job or whatever the complaint is. I explain that inflation is theft, stealing your time. Time is energy. Money represents your time. And, most times people see that, hey, maybe this is a solution. A lot of times you have to have that conversation 2 or 3 times. It's hard to conceptualize, especially when you're with someone, they're not working and they're on their free time, and maybe they don't want to hear something that like that, you know, because we're just trying to hang out, you know. So it's you have to pick your time and place and wait for someone to explain their problem, because you might be able to explain their solution via Bitcoin. So that's kind of my take on that.
From your perspective, what's the biggest threat to Bitcoin?
You know, I wrote this article to capture, not kill, and I guess essentially Bitcoin, right? If you can't kill it, you could try to capture it, right, with gold, like they did with gold, and just contain it, right, and take it off of the market. So I think the biggest threat to Bitcoin right now is creating selling pressure for normal people that are fighting back, the plebs that are fighting back, to essentially give up all of their sats and to a centralizing entity like BlackRock or the Bank of International Settlements or any of these perceived to be evil entities, right? Because if they have all the Bitcoin, they take it out of play, they take it out of the game. So that means they're taking the self-sovereign tool of freedom away from the people. No access, you know?
On the other side of the coin, though, do you see the approval of ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs, being a big catalyst in price this coming year?
Yeah, sure. I mean, supposedly there's $25 trillion of liquid money on the sidelines waiting to be allocated into Bitcoin, which is around a 700 billion market cap right now. And obviously this would make the price explode. But with all fiat money, endless infinite money, you could use that to pump the price up to astronomical numbers and create that selling pressure for the normal person to give up their Bitcoin to trade into dollars or whatever. But I think the hodlers are smart enough to know that as this happens, now you become a major player in the new world. You don't have to sell your Bitcoin for dollars. You can keep it yourself and manifest and create and pay people to bring in your vision of the new world. You will have the monetary power to do that, the purchasing power to finance the new world if you hold on to your Bitcoin long enough, because I believe that they will create that selling pressure. So it's all about what you do with it.
Now, are you versed in what's happening here in regards to the Volcano bonds and the billion-dollar Volcano mining startup?
What's that? Yeah, no, I think I'm okay. I don't know.
He's okay for now?
Yeah, I don't know. Is my driver here? I don't even know. What time is it?
Get a time check. Get a time check, Quince.
I think we're okay, right?
Yeah, see.
You want another one? No, I want one of those strawberry ones.
Sorry, a strawberry.
Yeah, is there time? Is there time? Is he here? Oh, okay. Maybe one more drink, real quick, and we'll go. Is that okay?
It's okay with me, Pete.
Yeah, thank you, Brad. I feel bad now.
Yeah.
Is that okay? It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So back to my question. Are you versed in what's going on here in terms of the use of volcano energy with mining and the volcano bonds that are going to be launched early next year?
Yeah, no, I'm not that well versed, but I did go up to Berlin and I met Geraldo and Vanya, I believe, and all that crew up there, Nikki and James, and those guys were all great. I went up there with the Plastic to Bitcoin guys. Shout out to Plastic to Bitcoin. These gentlemen are developing a way to turn plastic into electricity and then mine Bitcoin and then give the Bitcoin back to the people that bring in. So they have essentially monetized plastic garbage here in El Salvador, which is incredible. So that creates an incentive for everyone to clean up after themselves for sats. But no, I'm not well versed on all that. But I was near the site where they were mining Bitcoin with geothermal energy. I believe I saw it a little bit as I was driving. Not totally sure. I couldn't imagine that was not the facility because there's not much up there. So yeah, it was pretty much. I don't know much about bonds, man. I have to tell you, I'm not a traditional market guy. I was fascinated by Bitcoin when I started, and I pretty much have only stuck to that. I mean, it's the fastest
You don't
source
need
in the
to
race.
know
So.
about bonds.
Well,
Yeah.
we luckily we're sitting with a guy that used to work in traditional finance and has, we'll say, transcended that space and kind of gone all crypto. And maybe to wake Quincy up for a moment, maybe you can tell us, what's a bond and how do you think that might play out?
What is a bond? Bond is theft. Bond is trash. A bond is if you want less money back, or I should say, to be specific, less purchasing power back
Interesting.
at the end of the bond.
Okay.
So if the bond pays whatever percent, I don't even know. I don't keep up with it. It could be 3%, 2%, 7%. You're less than inflation. So this is the big thing. This is why Bitcoin is so much better, because we're not only maintaining our purchasing power, but we're growing our purchasing power. So the dollar amount, to your point earlier about how much is $1 million going to buy, or whatever amount it was you said, that's a great point, because that matters.
Yeah.
So Zimbabwe has trillionaires that are homeless.
Yeah.
I know Venezuela is going through a tough time because of hyperinflation. Germany was the first example in the post World War II.
Yeah, Weimar
War
Republic. Weimar Republic, yeah.
And where they had, and we learned about this all in history class, where it was wheelbarrows full of cash to buy a loaf of bread. I mean, that's unacceptable. It's simply unacceptable. Bonds are unacceptable. Mutual funds are unacceptable.
Yeah.
Right? So the average medium risk investor, which is, you could say, are most people, they're making 7 to 10, even if you want to call it 12% per year. Well, like you said earlier, the true inflation, it's the M2 money supply. It's not the CPI. The CPI is manipulated on purpose to keep those numbers down. Because the less money, the less purchasing power you have, that means you're going to buy a lesser quality good.
Yeah.
So they remove baskets of goods from the CPI index.
Yeah.
Because less people are buying them, and they put the goods that they are buying.
Right.
So that keeps it relative, which is, it's a fake metric. It's a fake measurement. So bonds are, sorry?
So I was going to say Canada just took DVD players off of their CPI.
DVD players?
This year.
Were they actually on it?
Yeah, up until this year.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I mean,
I don't know what I would do
did they
without
still
my
have
DVDs,
it? Why would they still have it until this year? It's silly.
Yeah, I
but
guess they have their different measurements or whatever.
Different measurements,
probably
and so it's
the price somehow.
So I always used to use this example, and you can cut anything you want here, but I'm just saying. So the example would be,
cutting the whole thing.
if there was 10 bars of gold in the world, right? Your bar of gold is worth 1 bar of gold, and you can buy X amount of corn with
Unless there's tungsten in it.
Well, okay.
Taking physical.
We're not going to add variables to this example for the time being. But if all of a sudden they found another 10 bars of gold, well, your bar of gold, if you had one of them, is now worth 50% less, because there is 100% more. Yeah. That's mathematics.
Right.
You can't really argue that. And so that's what the money supply is. If you increase it by 100%, which, how much have they done it? 40%, I think 40% of the money in existence right now was created in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
alarming.
We had a president that locked us down and printed all the money and
all around the world. But anyways, to cut it short, don't buy bonds. Don't buy bonds. Not for your grandma, not for your mom. You know, if you want to buy a mutual fund because you're super scared, don't do it. Don't do it.
What if the country issuing the bonds is acting responsibly?
Okay, so now we're talking about the Bitcoin bonds.
We're talking about El Salvador Bitcoin bonds. I don't know.
That's what I mean. So if you don't mind,
yeah.
I'm just gonna say, like, we can talk to some more experts on this while we're in El Salvador, how this new Volcano bond will intersect with the traditional bonds and how that works. Right. So maybe something we can look into a little bit more. But
Bitcoin bond, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll get better returns because we're with working with now the best performing asset in history, right?
Yeah,
so it could be perhaps change that game a little bit. I'm not sure, so
there's
I won't
probably
speak too much on that.
Political element to that as well. So I'm sure that's a variable, but I think the long and short of it is buy Bitcoin.
So Pete, do you have any favorite books in this space, or podcasts, or resources in general?
Oh man, hard to think after all these orange pills, but no, love the Bitcoin Standard, Love
Yes.
the Orange Pill podcast, Max and Stacy. You know, that's pretty general stuff there, but really anything that can just help you understand it in a way that is unique to you, because the information is all the same, but maybe someone says it in a way that really gets to you, and I think it's important for some people to hear it some ways and others other ways, but yeah.
It's a very good point.
Yeah.
And traditionally, a lot of Bitcoiners come from one camp of thinking. Libertarians, it's come out of that camp of thinking. So like I got a stack of different Bitcoin books at home, and I do try to diversify and get different perspectives, and it's exactly it. You know, some things are going to hit home for some people, and other things are going to hit home for others. So and you have a creative side to you. You mentioned. I'm not sure how public you want this information, but I know you've done some Bitcoin writing. Not that you published or anything like that, but you want to extract those thoughts and put them down on somewhere. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
Yeah, I have a bunch of just like revelations. We'll call them Bitcoin revelations, right? And I would say some of them are pseudo blasphemous. Even I've equated Bitcoin to Jesus before, and I know someone wrote something about that also, but I didn't find that out until after I wrote this article for myself. So I'm not taking anybody's work here, but yeah, there is a Christ-like element to monetizing peace and love and coming back to destroy the central bankers, which is the enemy of Jesus, right? The central bankers were in the money temple, and they were he was flipped the what do they call that, the table over in the temple. Can't remember, but yeah, there is a Christ-like element to this Bitcoin thing. Now, if you're not a Christian, that's fine, and I'm not saying Bitcoin is Jesus. Obviously, it's a computer program, right? But there is a philosophical Christness to Bitcoin, which I thought was that's a bigger, larger, more recent revelation in the Bitcoin articles that I've been writing. So, I mean, I have a lot. There's a lot there, mostly to do with incentive structures and stuff like that. But yeah, we can totally get together and do another episode with a bunch of those if you guys want. But yeah,
I would love to. Like we were talking earlier, like we're all want to come back here. We love it here. Realistically for myself, I think the Halving party might be the next time I would come back.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, so that would be awesome. Come here. I mean, it's only 2 days at the resort, but there's going to be more. And for folks that want more information, my previous episode was all about the Bitcoin Halving party on. Oh, and we got another guest walking in.
Oh my God!
What's up, buddy?
Dude, what's up,
What's going on, brother?
This is Skyler. He's not a Bitcoiner yet, bro. Oh, we're doing a podcast. You're on the podcast.
Say what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Join us, man.
But I think I actually have to go soon and pay.
Okay.
So,
well, hey, man.
we can.
You're not an online guy, so we can't really follow you anywhere at this point.
I'm off the grid.
You're off the grid.
But if you don't have my number, you can't contact me.
So
but you already have my number. Skyler's got my number.
Yeah, we got your number.
Surf Bros.
You'll put it below.
Yeah.
So, man,
yeah. Put it on the podcast.
So, man,
thanks at me, everyone.
Man, thanks for doing this. We'll hope to see you back.
So much. It was really
hopefully
nice
we can do it again at the Halving party if it all works out, man.
Yeah, brother. Thank you. Have fun at the jungle rave tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
You guys are all going to the rave. If it wasn't Christmas next week, I would. That's just
sweet.
I'm jealous.
Cool.
So yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, we'll call that.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, we'll call that. Well, maybe we'll cheers one last time. Oh, we need to get this guy.
Get this guy an orange pill.
We need to get this guy orange pilled on a few different dimensions right now
and everything. Yeah.